Thank you very much, Paul and Dan Belzer. I appreciate your time here today. I want to start by asking you about your family, about where this whole passion for farming started with your family, Paul, because your grandparents were farmers originally, right?
Correct. Both grandparents have been on the farm most of their lives. So Grandpa Belzer was involved north of Albia, and then my other grandparents, Grandpa Herb carried milk. He'd pick up and deliver milk when he was younger, and then in later years, then he farmed south of town, and so both of them were involved highly in agriculture.
So both sides of your family,
Yes.
Dan, are
Yes.
so you guys never had a chance.
No, we never had a chance. Paul and I grew up, with that same tradition. We had 4-H and FFA projects with livestock, sheep, and we had horses, and we had cattle for a short bit.
Yeah.
And
that didn't work out so well.
no, no, that's been deep in our heritage for a long time.
Why is farming is it like the corn itself? Why does it get so deep down into the soil, the idea of farming into a DNA?
A lot of it, I think, is to deal with your upbringing and your family heritage. To me, it's a family thing. It's a generational thing. So you learn a lot of those things from your parents. Your heart and soul is there working the fields or the animals, and you're highly involved with that day to day, and you get a passion after a period of time that your heart of the heart spends the time there with the animals, and like I said, in the family, it's more of so you learn it not only from your parents but your grandparents and so on and so forth. So which makes you very passionate about those products, and that's why I am. Agriculture's been a way of my life for as long as I can remember, and it kind of gets it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a living, but it's more of a lifestyle than it is a living.
Yeah.
So.
And the industry itself there's only so much you can control as a farmer.
Yeah.
And the weather is one of the absolute key points in all of this. So if you're a mechanic, you just work on things that are mechanical. Right? Cars come in, cars go out, trucks come in. You don't have to worry about if it's going to rain, if there's going to be a frost, it's all those sort of things. So there are so many more challenges to a farmer, Dan, than there are to just people in business.
Yeah, there's a lot of uncontrolled situations that they have to deal with, and the relationships we have with a lot of our farmers, we hear about that every day. And how do they overcome drought? How do they overcome insect pressure on the crops? And especially in our area with cattle, if we're dealing through the winter months, how do we make sure they're fed and properly taken care of? So we sit down with each of the farmers and try and help them out with the right products to get their job done more efficiently. We know personally, growing up on a farm, that that's part of it. You got to do chores in the rain, you got to do chores in the snow, and your equipment has to work right along with you.
So you're at the coalface of farming. That front counter out there is your link, your artery to what's really going on. You've got land still, so you're not just sitting in an office anymore.
Right.
But still, you are learning every day, up to the minute, what the farmer in 2023 faces, I imagine. So it's a great information portal that you have through that window there.
Yeah, we learn hands-on. We're right up, know what they're dealing with, and also, some of the trials that they have to deal with as far as putting the crop in, taking it out, or feeding in those type of applications. But we also know what they're you know, is things good out there or they're not? And we deal in agriculture, we cycle. There are good years, and there's also years that aren't. And so you have to be able to have momentum enough that you can get through those tougher seasons and get through that and move forward into those that are good. So.
One of my very favorite albums of all time is John Mellencamp's Scarecrow. And I don't know, am I getting a warped sense of American farming from that? Because I just love so much the fields and the barns. I'm a barn guy. I just love driving through those fields and feeling like I've just driven onto the set of Small Town by John Mellencamp.
Yeah.
Is that a romantic notion of American farming, or are those things still ring true?
Yeah, I think there's truth in the face of it. You know, one of the things that Paul and I experience, and our dad on a daily basis, and our mom who works here too, is that we see the people behind those barns, and things aren't always great. And so if there's a loss in the family, we try and walk with those people as much as we can. And whether it's on the production side of agriculture or it's frankly within their family. And I think the agriculture community really does a good job coming together to support folks that are struggling. And I think, mental health has been a huge issue, after COVID. And it's something that's not just affecting, folks on the East Coast and West Coast, but it's also affecting, your local folks here too.
We're meant to use the F word, foreclosure. I mean, that has to be an enormous pressure on farming. When all those things add up, the weather, the market prices, the cost of diesel, all those things that a farmer can't control, that's got to be, you'd have some pretty emotional people come through your door.
Yeah, we do. When you enter a setting like this, it produces a great chance for conversation. And it's not just about the equipment. And we are, we're here to serve people, and we do that through equipment. But we really want the people to be better off after they've spent time with us. And it is tough. Now we've strung together some really good years for farming, but that's not everyone is able to have a great year. And so those are real conversations, and I think that's one of the things that our family's passionate about, is getting to know the hearts of people.
So you're almost like bartenders. Well, really, I mean, people pouring their hearts out to you, and they need to feel that they can do that, Paul, right?
He can't mix drinks very well, so.
I don't know, I reckon I'd have a go at whatever he's mixing up.
No, that's true. We get a lot of information from family size after you become spend time with them and you're that close.
Yeah.
It's more like, it's like serving our friends is what it amounts to in our business here. You're there to help them as best you can, and not every situation we're going to be able to help them, but we try to. And so if you go the extra effort to try to take care of them, and because you know what their job is and what they've got to get done. So
I'd say especially our parents, like they and my brother, just the time they spend at a visitation, or my mom, taking food to a customer that had a loss. That's woven into our threads of who we are. That's just part of being in the community.
Yeah, and small town America they're very close and tight knit, so you're involved in a lot of the people, whether it's through the church or through the community or any of those activities that go on in our part of this country, and so you spend a lot of time with those people, and so you're involved in a lot of activities with them besides your normal day-to-day stuff. So.
Yeah.
It might sound cliche, but you're almost in a partnership with these people on the land. Your performance is going to help their performance, and if you both win, this relationship goes on into the future.
Right. Right.
We sell a lot of different brands of equipment, and one of the things that we figure out pretty quickly is each brand has its flagship model, but each brand also has maybe some that aren't as strong as they could be, and so we are always trying to filter for the customer what is the best product for this particular job.
Yep.
Because if we're not selling the right product for them, or a good solid product, then we're not successful. So that machine's back in the shop and we're doing work on it. And so as that's part of our responsibility, is to find the right product for that job so that they can be successful and they can continue on doing what they love.
Well, we're selling basically trust.
Yeah.
Is what we're selling. So
Yeah.
they trust us with their business, so we want to treat them like another family member is what we want to do, and that's it. We end up, with that being said, we've been fortunate being here for several years, and we've dealt with a lot of families long term, so
generations.
So we've got multiple generations that we've done business with over the course of time. So which we're pretty fortunate to be involved in the business that kind of time period.
Empathy is different to sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
To be empathetic with your customers, and you guys have an understanding because your parents went through in the 80s when the world ground to a halt in this industry, and in a lot of industries really, but I think you told me that your dad sold one tractor that year, and that was to his dad. Right, so it's like you've been to the edge and looked over. So it's not like you can't say, we've always been in a purple patch, I don't understand what you're going through, but good luck. You go, we've been there. That's got to be important.
We use the equipment that we sell. So we have our own family farm, and like you mentioned before about the 80s, that was a tough time for
extremely difficult
for the farmer, for the equipment business, and just selling one tractor in one whole year was, that was your dad's not taking home a paycheck, so and that's really taught us some hard lessons about how to get through the more difficult times. And I would say even today, he comes in and talks to us on a daily basis, our father, and reminds us of when things were hard and how we need to make sure that we're preparing for, if there is a tougher day ahead, how do we handle that?
I remember my nana, she came from that time that all your grandparents came from, where she would drink half a can of pop and she'd put some sticky tape over the can and put it back in the fridge. They never wasted anything.
No, that's
you know what I mean? We would go, just throw the rest of that can in the bin as kids, as grandkids. I remember there was many cans. You go in the fridge and there'd be a can with a little bit of sticky tape and a bit of lipstick on top of the can of lemonade. So, we've come from that era where you had to value everything you had. And I guess that comes with relationships like Vermeer as well. You've been you were an employee of that company for 2 decades. You must have started when you were 15, did you?
Yeah, that's right. 13.
They strike me as another company that started with nothing, like a single man operation to the Vermeer mile, which is mind blowing. But God bless America that you can do that. So that relationship with you guys is very important.
Paul has he's got a lot of experience with all of our vendors, and Vermeer is a special one to us. And just the relationship with the family, the Vermeer family, the Andringer family, and the employees that we've worked side by side, and they come out to the field when we're having trouble. And there's a lot of leadership and management that I know I've learned, particularly from the Vermeer family, that we pour into the business here. And taking care of people. One of theirs is the golden rule of, I'm going to take care of the person how they want to be taken care of. And that's something we believe here at Belzer Equipment too, is we want the customer to be taken care of the way they want to be taken care of. And a lot of lessons that we've been fortunate to be a part of is come from the Vermeer organization and the Vermeer family specifically.
In as few words as possible, what is a farmer? Like if I said to you in 6 words, what is a farmer?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's hard to put into 6 words. It's
Isn't that the point though?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They can do, they plant the crop, they grow the crop. I mean, take care of the animals, feed the animals. They're an agronomist, weatherman, and then try to take care of all that other stuff in between, and then manage it all today. Probably the best would say they're part of the land, or attached to the land would be more probably and grow with the land to make their means of a living.
What's integrity?
Yeah, I think integrity is taking care of other people the way that they want to be taken care of. And we are a family of faith, and not only we've learned that from our parents, but also from the faith community of we do things. There are easier routes to take, and we choose on a daily basis not to take the easier route. And sometimes that costs you money, and sometimes that can cost you relationships. But we believe, and I think that's why this business has been so successful, is because since day one, our grandfather, his wife, Lucille, my father, and his wife, Connie, have ran this business with integrity. And we are beneficiaries of how they've dealt business.
Like I said, treating people appropriately, whether sometimes that they may make ill comments or whatever, you still want to be appropriate of how you take care of people, and whether it's you agree with what they've said or don't, we still want to take the high road and be appropriate to who we deal with or to take care of our business.
Rank these 3 words: farming, faith, family. From top to bottom. Didn't tell you this was going to be easy, Paul.
Yeah, right. That's
This is
right.
tough. I'd be to put them together basically, and they're all very highly important. It would be I don't know if you can rank one out prior to the other. So your faith probably would be number 1.
Yeah.
And then your family, and then the farming.
Yeah.
But they would all be highly important. So.
I knew you'd get there.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's you can farm well because of the other 2, and so by having that strong faith and to be able to trust, right, and then having a support family around you and taking care of them allows you to be successful at the third. And so and we see that in this community with most of our customers.